Hello, how to confirm trend direction without indicator. Swing trading chart analysis. We have our stock watch list here of large cap growth stocks, upward stocks, and we are going to analyze two of them. The first one is PCAR. Using Thinkorswim platform, maximum daily chart, we are going to analyze PCAR as of today, October 20, 2025. So how do I confirm a trend direction without indicator? So as you are looking at the chart, I do not have any indicator or moving averages on the chart. I just use support lines on it. For our long uptrend launching trading strategy, to confirm a trend direction, when you are looking at PCAR, for instance, on Friday the market closed on green. The price went up that day, so the price at the end of the day was higher than the price in the morning. When you are looking at PCAR though, you'll notice that. So let's use a landmark here. Here it reached a new high and then was done claiming the mountain from the last time it touched base with this support line, or better yet that one, but I will say this support line here. So the whole circle is from that support line all the way to the highest peak and then back to it again. So when you are looking at that whole circle, you'll notice that when you reach that support line, when you reach that highest peak, it start making lower highs. So it start making lower lows and lower highs. So it changed direction from there. So just by looking at the chart and looking at the direction that the candlesticks are going toward, you'll know the trend direction. So we have arrows on the charts to show where we purchase it and where we sold. The arrows pointing upward shows where we purchase, and the arrows facing down show where we sold. And we purchased it right at the peak there, but then it stopped going up and start going down. So by looking at the candlestick, you have the red one, which are the pullbacks, and you have the green ones, which are the rising price. But as you are looking at them, you'll notice that when it pull back to this level and went sideways a little bit, pull back, went up, pull back. So this higher up here is lower than this highest point. But then it pull back to this support line, went up a little bit, pull back, went up a little bit, pull back, went up a little bit, pull back, and so forth. And this peak here, those two are higher than this one, but still lower than this. So at this point, we could say that it changed, like at least the terminology that I like to use is pulling back and probably to the support line. So when you are looking at it, it changed direction, and so far it has not gone higher up to surpass this highest peak yet. Therefore, it's safe to say that it's done reaching that peak, this position, this trend ended, is on its way down to the support line before it start a new trend again. So I like to say a new circle in terms of a mountain, climbing a mountain and climbing up and climbing down. the whole things will be like a mountain when it touch base with this support line. So if it start going up from here, then this whole cycle ended and a new one is starting. So we purchase it there, and when it pull back, we remain negative in it because we didn't sell it. It went up and pull back and so forth. So when it reach this support line here, we didn't know if it was a support line or a valley line, a support line at the valley of the mountain, or a support line for the upward side of the mountain. So we purchased it again there around this support line when we saw it going up. The trend changed direction here, start making a higher lows there a little bit, and we purchased some shares again. But it was done with that support line because it pulled back shortly after. When going up a little bit, it pulled back again to this one, and then start going sideways and pulling down. So maybe it could well come back to this line here before start going up. So I don't try to predict what is going to happen. I just wait to see what happens before I take action. At this point in my swing trading, that is what I'm doing. Just wait to see what happens and then take action from there. Because the goal with our long option long swing trading strategy is to buy it at the valley line. When it start going up from there, when a new trend started, or a new position started, or a new circle started, when it start climbing the mountain, start making higher lows, purchase some share at this valley line, support line, and then sell it after a new high is reached. And we have because we are using a maximum daily chart for our chart analysis and our trade decision making, the high point highlighted on the chart is all-time high. And using large cap growth stocks, they reach new high frequently. So we use the support line as entry point and the highest, the all-time high as the exit point. But again, at each level, we have some other strategies that we use to determine if it's okay to buy it now or wait a little bit more, or if it's okay to sell it or wait a little bit more. And we discussed that in previous videos. But as for this one, just by looking at the chart without trying to predict it, we just see the direction of the chart. And just by looking at how it's doing, depending on what you are calling trend, for me, I will just say this going up here ended, and that is a trend. For me, that's a short one, but a long one, it started here at this support line in comparison to the support line that I like to buy at, that I'm calling the valley line. The last time it touched base with it, that is how far up it went, and then it started going down. So that trend changed direction. That is the upside of the mountain, and now it's working on the downside of the mountain. It's climbing down. Whether it's ready to go to start a new cycle or a new trend or start going up, I'm not entirely sure, because it started here. We saw this gray line here showing an uptrend, but then it changed direction again going down. Even though we have a green bar on Friday, you can see the direction of the chart is facing down. We have a V or sort here, so it's facing down. So we have this going down, and then it changed direction going up, but then it changed direction again going down. So we don't know if it's going to remain at this. It's going to use this support line as the valley line and start going up from there or not. But we'll just keep observing it, and we don't know if we'll buy some more or not. But I don't know. But yeah, we have those two purchases that we are negative in currently for buying it too high. So with our long option launching trading strategy, I think the key point is to be able to determine the support line, that is the valley line, and differentiate that from the support line that is supporting the upside wall of the mountain that the price is claiming on its way up, so that you do not buy at that support line thinking that is the valley line. So this does not look quite like a support line for the upside wall of the mountain because it's quite low, but at the same time it is if it does not remain unable pull lower than that. So whether this is going to be the new valley line or is going to be this one, we don't know, because previously it touched base with both, and this one is shorter. It originated from here, but this one is longer, so therefore it could well decide to come down to this support line before going up. We have the price on the y-axis and the date on the x-axis, and by looking at it, when it left that support line was in 2022, we have 2023, and then we have 2024. So it has been on the rise for over a year, maybe a year and a half or so, but then it took about the same to pull back to the support line. So we don't know if it's going to remain there or go back down. So what I'm trying to determine with those stocks is to be able to determine what the valley line is for them. It's not obvious for every single one of them. Some of them might be more obvious than others, because some stocks tend to climb higher up quite a bit, but then in some instances they might fall way back down to their original valley line, or sometimes they might just start a new one and not go far down. So when you trace your support lines, you wanted to see which one is most likely will become the support line. And the only way one way I like to do it is just see the one that has multiple touch point. So it's going to be this one, but again, this second one that we trace that is shorter has recent touch point, when this one has touch point in the past, 2 touch point here and 2 touch point to this one. So when you are not sure, you just don't take any action, or you just buy few shares, especially if you just start out, or that's a stock that you never purchased with the strategy you are using. Just buy one share and just observe it from there. So I like to use arrows so that I can pinpoint where I purchase and use that as a reference as I'm analyzing the chart, so that I can see if I made a purchase at the right place of the chart, or if I enter the trade too early. So this purchase was based on a short uptrend launching trading strategy, trading using pretty much short trend lines that it was just done with and pull back, but then buying it here thinking that's a support line, a support line at the valley of the mountain, turned out not to be. That's that line that you have multiple touch point with, turned out not to be a support line at the valley of the mountain, but a support line to supporting the upside wall of the mountain. So now it pulled back to this one, and we are just going to keep observing it. So that is pretty much how I confirm my trend direction, by just looking at the chart and pretty much see where the direction of the chart is going, just by looking at pretty much the chart and the direction of it. Here is facing down, here it faced up, so it went up. Here it faced down, so it's going down. So when you are comparing the obvious lows of the chart, you will notice that if I'm tracing a line touching the obvious lows, that will be the V, the bottom of the V's. If I'm tracing a line passing by the V's here, it's going to go up. So if I'm tracing a line passing by the V's here, the line is going to go downward. So that's a change of direction right there. So the way I confirm my trend direction is just by tracing support lines passing by the obvious V's of the chart, which are the lows of the chart, or the higher lows of the charts, or the lower lows. If you are tracing a downtrend, I don't trace a downtrend because I buy on an uptrend lines. So I just trace uptrend lines, and I can just look and know that this is a downtrend because it's going downward. But tracing a support line passing by the V's, the bottom of the V's of the charts, or the higher lows of the chart, or the obvious lows of the charts, is one way for me to determine the direction of the trend, by just looking at how the chart is moving and in relation to the lines that are traced. And as you are looking at it here, it went below this support line, the trend ended, touch base with this trend started, ended, is moving back. But if you are looking at a long trend in terms of the whole circle, then it started from here, this uprise of the mountain ended there, and it's working on the downside or the downward side of the mountain. And whether it ended here or it's going to continue all the way to here, time will tell. It will happen before I can tell. So this is PCAR. The next one we are going to analyze is PG. And I have a note there to remove PG from the list for 2026 watch list, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So when we are looking at PG again, you'll notice that I trace this support line as my buying point, and right now it went below it. So it touched base. When it reached the peak here, it pulled back to the support line and then start going up again and reach the highest peak there, and then it start going down. So the trend changed direction. So it touched base with the support line and went below it. Sometimes it can go a little bit below it and then start going up from there. So we trace this support line, support line here, because we saw that it went down, making lower lows, and then it started making higher lows. So it changed direction here, but then changed direction again, and then change it again. And as you can see, it pull back and then start going up there. So it could well just remain around this support line for a while and start going up from there. But again, we just want to wait to see when it start going up from there, making higher lows, that we know that is done. Going down is start going up again, starting a new trend or a new cycle. So but as for this one, it climbed the mountain from this support line all the way there. That was the upside of the mountain, and this is the downside of the mountain. So the one direction was going up and the second direction was to go down, but again on each side is going up and down, using short uptrend line to rest on, and it's doing the same, going down, making here it was making higher lows, going up. But then when they walking on a downside, the downside or the downtrend of the mountain, or climbing down from the top of the mountain, climbing down to the valley, it start making lower lows to the support line. But it has to start going up from there before we can say it's done going down and is ready to start going up, that the previous trend ended and a new one is about to start. So we just see that this support line is just too low for that to still be the valley line. So therefore we assume this is going to be the new support line. In relation to this though, is quite steep. There is a sharp angle here, is quite steep. So I'm not sure if it's going to use this as the valley line or if it's going to come down to this valley line, which I feel like is quite low. But again, we are just going to keep observing it. And when it's like that, when you think this could be a support line, it turns out not to be, and you are trying to buy, when you start seeing higher lows from that support line, you can buy few shares. If you are new to it, you can buy one. But like for me, that if I purchase it before, I could purchase more than one share. But now knowing if this is going to be the valley line or if this one is going to be, because if this one turn out to be the one, then I'll have purchased it quite at a higher price, and I will stay in the trade a lot longer until it touch base with this support line. I might buy some more, and then from there all the way past this support line to reach a new high before I sell it. What I know there is that it reached a new high almost every 3 years or so, because this one was 3 years ago compared to this one. So, and from here we have this one that was about a year and a half, and this one is about a year or a little bit less. So it's just by observing, and that's why I like to recommend we just create a watch list of stocks that we can trade from, and by trading the same stocks over and over and over, and at the end of the year pull stocks that doesn't work well with the strategy we are using out and replace them with new ones. We might get to know the stocks we are trading, be familiar with their chart analysis, their charts behavior, and therefore it might help us make a better decision when we are buying the stocks and when we are selling it, so that we do not enter the trade too early or exit too early or too late. And again, I just use support lines in my buying decisions, and the new high as my exit in my exit decision. And by so entry is buying the stock, exit is selling the stock. So thank you so much for watching our videos. We thank you very much for your time. We thank you very much for all your comments, and we thank you for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel and ninasoap.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. Just that small, one share at a time, and to increase your profit. Next time you buy that stocks again, you just buy more share of it. Thank you. For more of our swing trading tips, will you please check the list of the playlists in the description of this video. Thank you for your time.